Hey, what's up, guys? Road Warrior 627 here, coming at you with my first non-gameplay video today, guys. We're taking a look at Derby 142, seeing who might take the run for the roses. Joined by my good friend, Blue Italian Blazor, Joey Martin. Hey, what's up, man? What do you think about this Derby?
I think it's going to be a very great derby, lots of competitors, and it's a long, long, long race.
It's a mile and a quarter, very true. Well, not that long enough, definitely for sure. Now here's my last six Derby picks. They're not that bad, but they're not that good either. I'm a lot better of a Belmont picker. So as you can see, I had some success, and then really dropped off the last couple of years. But anyway, now no talk of this Kentucky Derby can begin without first talking about Nyquist. Fast, undefeated, four-time Grade 1 winner, 2-year-old champion. He's the best horse in the race. A lot of people are saying he's just like American Pharoah last year. Now, I don't think he's as good as American Pharoah was, but I think it's about the same gap between him and the rest of the 3-year-olds. His prep this year, Nyquist was a second slower than AP's last year. So, Joe, what do you think about the favorite Nyquist?
The thing that separates him and American Pharoah, there's way more horses running, and it's basically up for grabs for any horse running, except the 50 to 1 odd horses.
You think? Well, anyway, guys, he should Mario with post 13. He should be able to get him to a nice position on the outside. Good stalking trip. Now, this is nowhere near a walkover. There's a ton of other quality horses in the field. I don't think it's as wide open as last year, but it's decently wide open, especially among the horses who won big preps in their last starts. I think we got to start with Exaggerator, who won the Santa Anita Derby. He was very impressive, closing to get Bob Baffert's more spirit. I don't think the pace in the Derby is going to be dreadfully fast, because with all the horses going to the lead or stalking, some of them might decide to take back and allow the front runners to get a fairly controlled pace. And don't forget the two jockeys that are on the potential two early leaders, Mike Smith on Dancing Candy and Johnny Velasquez on Outwork. They're both very experienced riders. They know that if they go too fast too soon, they're going to F themselves in the butt. So I don't think they're really going to be going that fast. All right. So I think he'll really have to get rolling to win this race. Exaggerator. He seems like he's really going to need to improve off his last start, because I don't think he's going to get the same pace to run into. Then we got Brody's Cause, who also likes to stalk. The only problem is his Bluegrass was not really impressive at all, really. It was a low-speed figure, a mediocre group of horses. I mean, he's all right, but I think there's maybe some better options in here. Joe, what do you think about Brody's Cause? What do you know about him?
I think he's a great horse. He did look a little bad in his last start out, and I think he might be in the contention of winning this race, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be in it because he might start off a little too fast coming in from his post position.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I don't think so, but I'll tell you what, his last race, even though he won, it really was not great. All right, so let's head south a little bit. Let's go to Arkansas with Creator, who also closed. I don't think his closing kick is good enough to win this race, much like an Exaggerator. Decent quality, but I just think the pace is going to be too slow up front. Like, I think he needs like maybe 45-4 and maybe 110 flat for him to close. I think it's going to be around like 47-2 or maybe 111-3. Something very similar to the last two Kentucky Derbies. Joe, your thoughts on Creator?
I have very high thoughts on Creator. I liked the way he ran in the Arkansas Derby. He looked really good, and even though he won by at least 10 lengths in the Arkansas Derby, he looked really good, and I think he can be a very good competitor for Nyquist and Heyman.
Did he win by 10 lengths? I forgot what he won by.
Yeah, he won.
He was decent, I think. Like, he drew off near the end. Anyway, so we're gonna head further south a little bit, even more. We're gonna go down to New Orleans, and we're gonna take a look at Gunrunner winning the Louisiana Derby. Now, I get it. The time was not that great. But I'll tell you what, he has got the perfect style. He can sit third or fourth in this race. He's got the number 5 post position. Flamand Giroux's been on an absolute tear the last year and a half as a new jockey coming up. So I just think that he's in a perfect position. He can get outside. He can be in the clear. Almost like a California Chrome trip. He also left the 5-hole in 2014. So he definitely looks like a very good choice here. He's probably going to wind up being about 12, 13 to 1, something like that. So, maybe he's decent, maybe he's not. I'm willing to take a shot with this horse for sure. Now, what are your thoughts, Joe, on Mr. Gunrunner?
I think he's going to probably drop the 15 to 1 odds because I didn't like the way he dropped off in his last race, even though he won the last race, right, Road Warrior?
Yeah, he did win the last race. We got the past performances right here. Let's take a look. How much did he win the Louisiana Derby one? He won it by 4.5 lengths. He won it in 151, which is not fast. He's got a 91 buyer, so he's going to need to do some improvement to win the race. But I do like that he broke his maiden on this track. That's also very good that he has experience with the track. Now, the Wood Memorial. A lot of people think this race was a piece of shit. Very well may have been a piece of shit. But I'll tell you what, I don't think it was that much of a piece of shit. Because let's look at Outwork. Let's look at the horse who won this race. He did all the dirty work. All the dirty work. He went up to the lead. Fast fractions, 22 and 4, 46. He just kept going. And then that pace was fast enough to have an 81 to 1 shot, who Larry Comas miscalled. By the way, he called that horse Adventist Trojan Nation. Now Trojan Nation's in the Derby too. But that pace was fast enough for an 81 to 1 long shot to come up over a track that was dull as shit the entire day. I think Outwork was definitely better than they thought in 152 and 4. He definitely showed like he has potential. I mean, he's probably gonna be sitting second behind Danzig Candy, and Johnny Velasquez definitely has enough experience to win this race. Joe, your thoughts on Outwork?
I like Outwork, but as you said before, Trojan Nation is kind of a joke. Right now they have him at 50 to 1 odds, which wasn't as good. But as you've seen in his last race, like Andrew said, like a very long shot could have won that race, and it wasn't fast. There was no great pace at that race at all, and I like Outlook. He's also a very good competitor to probably win this Derby.
Yeah, I gotta believe that Outwork and Danzig Candy, they go to the lead for sure. And but if they don't break, you never know. It's the Kentucky Derby. They know they can't go too fast and too soon. One other prep winner, we got Lonnie from Japan. He ran a mile in 3:16, so whatever the race is out there, I don't know exactly what it is. They might have changed. It was a mile in 3:16 last year. He ran in 1:57. That's too slow. I just don't think he's going to be able to. I don't think he's the same quality as the American horses. Now, here's a very big question, a question that's been tearing handicappers apart for the last 5 weeks. Can Mo Heyman come back? Joe, your thoughts on Mo Heyman after that defeat in the Florida Derby?
He didn't look like himself in the Florida Derby, and him and Nyquist are going to be in the final stretch together, maybe in like 1 and 2. If you're going to bet the exact box, I probably would suggest doing that because that's how it's going to fall out. But Mo Heyman looks really good, and I think he could also win it. So many to win it. It's a toss-up, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the Derby's a race where you want to be decently good, like, right before. You want to get hot before the Derby. And actually, the last 6 Derby winners have all finished in the top 3 in their last reps. And the last 4 have won. I'll have another one, Santa Anita. Orb won Florida. California Chrome won Santa Anita. And American Pharoah won in Arkansas before his Kentucky Derby win last year.
Just like Lieto.
Yeah. If you don't know who Joe's picking, then you haven't been listening. Anybody else who sticks out to you, Joe?
Yeah, I really like Lonnie from Japan. I think he's like you said, no one knows a lot about him or what happens over there, but he looks really good. Considering he's running at 30-1 odds, what am I saying? He does not look good, but he will probably be scratched from that race. I can guarantee you guys. I bet.
I don't think he's gonna get scratched, but you always want a funky horse to fill out the superfecta or something like that. So why not? I just want to bring up two more Spirit for Bob Baffert, who's always been consistent. He's been real. He's like a revolutionary from 3 years ago in 2013. He's always there. And Whitmore, who has a win over the racetrack. Watch him as a long shot. Just quickly, I know Adventist is not in this race, but the way I saw him closing the Wood Memorial, look at him around Belmont time. He had a great closing kick in that race. I think he'd be great for a mile and a half. So getting back to the Derby itself. Where is our money going in this race? Joe, your top four selections.
Well, first I want to mention one more horse, Whitmore, who is the jockey.
Whitmore, who I just mentioned.
Whitmore, yes. The jockey is Victor Espinoza, and if you don't notice, he has just won the Triple Crown last year with American Pharoah, so there's going to be some experience there because he knows how to ride horses. But for my predictions, it's kind of a toss-up for me. It's either Nyquist, Heyman, or Creator. So I'm going to pick Creator, who's right now the saying's running 15-1 odds, then Nyquist, finish second, and then Heyman to finish sixth. Yes, I know it sounds a little crazy, but I think Heyman is not fit for this race, and considering he looked really bad in his last race in the Florida Derby.
All right, so Joe not giving us top four, but definitely some good insight. Now here's my top four, guys. I'm taking Gun Runner on top in this race. He's got a tactical advantage, he had a good prep, decent prep. He's improving at the right time. He's won his last two races. He does have to take another big step forward, but I think he'll be somewhat overlooked of the prep horses as the money keeps going toward Nyquist. I think Nyquist is actually going to be shorter than 3-1 by the time they get in the gate, because I mean, he's a 2-year-old champion, 7 for 7, undefeated, 4 grade 1s. And the reason I am not putting him on top is one reason only. And it's the old handicapper's adage. You can't put the favorite on top in a 20-horse field. I am not putting the favorite on top. I am putting him second. I don't think he'll finish second, but I'm just putting him second because by stats, you got to go with him first, but it's the Derby. Anything could happen. So I'm going to take Nyquist second. A lot of favorites have finished second in the Derby over time. If you think back to 97 and Captain Bodgett lost by a nose to Silver Charm, who almost won the Triple Crown that year. He's improving at the right time, Gunner. So I like his chances. Nyquist, best prep, champ, horse to beat, should be able to rate off the pace. Yeah, so Nyquist, 2-year-old champion. I got second. Coming in third, we got Outwork, number 15. Pletcher and Velasquez. You always got to watch that combination. A nice, gritty prep race. If you want a race where he had to be tested before, then definitely you like Outwork. He had a gritty prep. He did all the dirty work. He might fade just a bit. That's why I have him third. The break is crucial for him. If he does not get off going well in this race, he's going to be dead. And fourth pick is number 11, Exaggerator. He had a very impressive prep, but he may have to weave through some traffic as a closer. Very talented, but he might just not get there. I don't think the pace is going to be that fast as a lot of other people think. So there you go, guys. 5 Gun Runner, 13 Nyquist, 15 Outwork, 11 Exaggerator. My top 4 picks for the Derby. This is going to be a very, very, very exciting race. So really, that's all we've got. Joe Martin, any final thoughts on this year's Kentucky Derby?
Yes, it's a 20-horse field, so like Andrew said, any horse can win this, except the 50-1 odd horses. But any horse could win this race, and especially if it was the Belmont, and if there can't be this many horses at the Belmont. It's a toss-up here. But I think Creator is going to come through and win the Kentucky Derby. Watch out for Creator, post 3. All right, guys.
Yeah, I don't like that post for creator number 3, but you know, doesn't matter what post you have as long as you're talented. To me, when you get in the gate, you're 20 to 1. That's it. You're 20 to 1, 19 to 1, excuse me. I'm getting those odds mixed up. So, guys, anybody can win this race. Joe said 50 to 1 shots don't win. They do win. Giacomo, Mind That Bird, just a few of them. So, guys, thank you for watching. Very nice conversation we've had. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoy the race. 4 o'clock on NBC on Saturday. Prep undercard race coverage starts, believe 12 o'clock tomorrow. We're filming this as the Kentucky Oaks undercard is going on. So the races have been going good there. And guys, that is going to do it. Enjoy the race, everybody. Peace.